Kuz Crypto here. So I'm starting a new channel. I've been trading cryptocurrency for about a year now, and I just absolutely love it. So I thought, do you know what? I'll carry on some videos and just still, obviously, I've learned quite a bit, but obviously there's more to learn, and I'm always loving to just get involved really and just really just understand as much as I can around anything I get into. So cryptocurrency, what I find so fascinating about it is that how deflationary it is, and how most of it obviously is decentralized. Obviously there are some centralized projects out there, but it's just the fact that it's just kind of the new revolution of currency itself, I find. And when talking about money, especially because we're here in the UK at the minute, and well, I'm just kind of in that realm now of basically where 5 years ago, pre-COVID, you're looking at, like, for example, chicken breasts being about £4.50 a kilo. Now it's £6.50 a kilo. So you're looking at like a 40% increase there of price, just in 5 years. That obviously the prices have been quite similar from now until about 2022, 23. So obviously that inflation period from 2020 to 2020, late 21, early 22 has just been absolutely ridiculous. So with wages not going up as much and all that, and inflationary aspects of the pound, dollar, whatever we have, it's not good enough. So I think cryptocurrency is definitely the way forward. And again, it's not controlled by banks, which is fantastic. So just wanted to talk into the cryptocurrency market today. Fear and greed's up 15, gotta love it. In alt season 16, great. Coming down here, I mean, funny how ETH is kind of trading at the minute, trending, sorry. Not for a great reason, I don't think, as it is down on the 7-day at 22%. I mean, XRP is down at 16%. Bitcoin looking strong around 10%, in the sense of, everything has been crashing. On the daily, looking at everything, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, even the likes like Chainlink is down 17%. Everything's kind of down. Sui's down 22%, but I feel at the minute Sui does bounce back quite nicely at times. But yeah, the whole crypto market, I mean, you're looking at total market cap 2.4 trillion, down 4.5%, nearly 4.6% in the last day. Again, most markets are crashing, but let's have a look into the charts. So as you can see, BTC is currently trading around the 75, 76 marker. Whether it's going to come back down and test that 74.4 today, I reckon, depending on the China news, depending on what happens there. I mean, Trump's just going in hard, really, and he's just trying to absolutely just decimate tariffs in a sense, but trying to use it possibly as a bargaining chip, just to try and get all tariffs down for the US. So because of their consumption is the largest in the world, whether he can then get tariffs down from other countries to then basically for consumers to buy more. But yeah, at the minute we're at 76, just above 76,000. I mean, we'll probably come back down to 74, 40 or 50. Whether that happens, we'll see. But again, we've got that support, but this resistance here of about 80,000 is, for me now, is a bit of a psychological support. When we kind of break it, I think that will be determined around news and etc. like that. But again, not a financial advisor, so can't really state. Now, whether we come down if news gets worse. So let's go on to the hourly. Whether news gets worse and we come down to this kind of level of 66,000, 66.8. Again, if we break this 64 kind of 4 region, that's where we could be in a bit more trouble. But again, I'm hoping that we don't drop any lower than this if we do come down, because then we're kind of testing kind of previous all-time highs, because obviously all previous all-time highs are around 67,000. So if we break kind of this area here, then we're probably a bit more bearish, but at the minute I'm feeling bullish myself. Let's look at ETH. ETH, I'd say, chart not looking great. So at the minute, around that 1,450, we lipped through this kind of basically below 1,4, so we went down to about 1,380. So with my kind of predictions as well, where I've been seeing touch points to 1,244, if we come down to that, that's when we're in a lot of trouble for ETH. But ETH's probably one of the ones which have broken through kind of resistance of their kind of lower resistance. So we've gone to the 4 hourly as well. I mean, and we'll look across. So come in here like this. You're looking at last time we've touched this 1,411 was around, I think it was 2023. Let's go to the weekly. There we go. It was 22, wasn't it? So, but still, that's 3 years ago where we're hitting those kind of market lows. So we've got a couple touch points here coming through, so kind of resistance / support. But yeah, I mean, that 12.44 is kind of a sign where if we come down to that, it's a bit worrying. Obviously on the weekly, haven't dropped below, great, but let's see again on the daily. So on the daily, we're looking again, luckily that wicking through, we're still holding on the daily above the 1,450. But if we wick down below this basically 140, like 1,400, we're in a bit of trouble there. XRP, I mean, that's coming down a bit as well. We're kind of testing supports here. So obviously we've got a resistance of 198 at the minute. We touched down to 161 the other day. And at the minute, I feel like at the minute with the market, let's go into the short frames. So let's go into the 15 minutes. And here you can see we're kind of going to be, we're in that mid-range between the 198 and the 161. So again, depending, I think, when the market's open today, and depending on the news of China, we'll see what happens there. But XRP for me is quite a strong holding. It's for me been one of the best runners this market, I feel. Even in times where other projects have kind of had a slight, quite a significant decline, XRP's held pretty well, and it held that $2 mark quite well for some time, to be fair. I mean, as you can see here, that $2 mark, since we've come down it, the 198 has been kind of that test of resistance. So it's about that test then, whether we can get over that again. Once we're over that, I think we'll stay over if it's held nicely and we break above it within the day and we stay above it. On the 4 hourly, again, you're looking at when we're above that $2 range, we are looking quite good. I mean, we wick down a couple times, and again, you think about it, this is going back to February, end of February, and we're still touching it, going back up. So once we get above it and kind of sentiment in the market's a bit better, probably be having a better chance of staying above $2 and probably going up to the upside. And then after $2, you're looking at about 221, 222, where then we start to see kind of levels of support there. I mean, these are the kind of the targets I've got. So 222, and then once you're coming up, you've got the 254, also 252, which comes up, which is a good resistance line. But at the minute, we're holding that between the 161 and the 196. I feel if we drop below the 161 because of any bearish news, next level of support you're looking at is about 125. We don't really want to go down here. It's been since November, and again, it's not a significant amount of support. It's just the fact that we're seeing, again, from that surge in the November, we're just seeing that. Hedera at the minute, I hold quite a bit of Hedera. Hedera had some good news yesterday around the adoption with Chainlink. So obviously Hedera adopts Chainlink standard for cross-chain interoperability to accelerate ecosystem adoption. So obviously that's CACIP. With this, it just allows kind of accessibility to grow within Hedera's sort of AI, and basically Chainlink allowing it to kind of interlock with each other, and enables kind of developers to integrate existing tokens. So basically making it the whole system, HBAR system, more accessible for getting across other platforms. Especially like when it's AI, it's real world asset kind of aspects. I feel Hedera is a very strong project. Again, no price targets for me at the minute. I mean, in the sense of where we could get to in the future, but right now we are looking at, so we got levels of support. So we went down to this 12.5 cent sort of mark. We got some support here and some resistance when we were coming up, but now it's looking like a support. Whether we come back down to this again, the reason why I've got this here is because I've only been doing crypto for 1 year. I started on Revolut. I would highly recommend guys not going through Revolut just because the fees are so much. So I just go through Coinbase and then buy it on Coinbase, and then put through to my Tangent wallet, which I think having cold storage is I just think more secure. I sleep better at night. But the reason why I've got this marker here is because this is where I want to. So I sold my Revolut Hedera because you can't transfer it for some reason from Revolut to your cold storage wallet. So I had to sell it. And the fees to sell it are so much more than Coinbase. It's absurd. I'd say probably, so for example, selling, let's say, £1,000 worth of Hedera, you'd then be getting, with the fees after, around, you'd be losing about £50 worth on Revolut, whereas on Coinbase, you're looking at probably, with Coinbase Plus as well, or Coinbase One, sorry, you're looking at probably losing about 30 quid to fees. You're making a lot more money. So obviously if your kind of gains go a lot higher on Revolut, your fees are going to be a lot more. So yeah, I'm going to be buying again in hopefully if it gets to it, 14.1 cents. If it goes lower, I might hold out for a bit because I want my Hedera back. I've got some in cold storage, but I want the stuff that the Hedera I had on Revolut. But yeah, so whether we come back up to this 17.6 sort of region, so we've had a couple of touch points here, and kind of, so that was good support, and now I feel a bit of resistance. With the news, we got up to 16.7 cents with Hedera as well. Let's look here. From that news that we got with its with Coinbase, you're looking from where it came down to all the way up to, that's about 32% increase. So if you bought in, I managed to buy in some around kind of the 13 cent range. Obviously, I feel like dollar cost averaging, saying pound cost average sounds a bit weird because obviously from the UK, but dollar cost averaging, and I think whatever you're getting in, it might go lower, but I know in the long run it's going to go higher. So that's my kind of thing with Hedera. So we're looking around for that 17.6. If we can get above 17.6, we can then go back into kind of we were hovering around sort of between, for a good time in March, from 18 to 20 cents. And again, that seems like a bit of support, resistance as well at about 20 cents. As you can see, there's quite a few touch points. But again, once the news comes down a little bit and the kind of sentiment in the market's better, I think then we'll be looking at more of a price spike in most projects, to be fair, that have utility and are basically, they have been around for a long time. Casper, love a bit of Casper. Again, you got a lot of Casper maxis out there. I support the project. I like what it's what it stands for. So obviously the trilemma, which everyone talks about. I mean, everyone talks about it enough. It's again a project which does scalability, security, and kind of decentralization all together with its proof of work. So through its mining and all that, so no tokens were sort of like given to people. They're all mined fairly. And at the minute, you've probably got about 10% of Casper's 10% of Casper still mineable. But yeah, the price actual of Casper at the minute. I mean, look at this. I mean, it went down to 5.2 cents. Comes up again to this. It's just shy of that 6.9 cents. So trying to break into that 7 cents barrier. I think Casper at the minute, that's where its kind of resistance is. Its support at the minute, I mean, you could say the support is around the kind of 6 cent mark. So where it dips down into the 5 and it will come back up to the 6 and kind of hover around there for a bit. Coming into the 5 cents mark, but below 6 cents, it does it very rarely. So what you're looking for is basically, I'm buying Casper as much as I can where it drops below that 6 cents. So literally the other day, I probably bought about, 1,000 Casper because I'm not minted. So I just buy as I can, and when I can, need to pay the bills, have a girlfriend so on to make sure we can do nice things still. Just basically dollar cost averaging in and making sure I can afford what I can put in, which I think everyone should. Again, it's easier said than done because you want to make those gains, and the more you put in, the more you gain. But again, it's whether if you're putting money in, like rent money or anything like that, because I've done it in the past, and I just wasn't sleeping as well at night. There's no point if you're worried about, I didn't put all my rent money in, I put half in. This is going back towards December time, just trying to get a bit of gain of some money. Then I can have, let's say I gain, I don't know, a couple, like £50 to £100, because you're not putting extortionate amounts in. You're thinking, okay, I can make some money here, and then put it back into that currency or whatever. But it's just not worth it, because if you lose your rent money and you're not sleeping at night, again, my sleep was really disturbed. I wouldn't really recommend it. Taught me a lesson. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. But yeah, really like Casper, its utility, its use, the team, very, very kind of for the people, and the Casper community as well is brilliant. One of the strongest communities out there, and probably has one of the highest kind of overall activity on like X and most social platforms. And then another one I love, Ondo. God, I love a bit of Ondo. So Ondo at the minute, again, look at that. I mean, we're touching points here constantly around that 89 cents mark. And then we're coming down to that 67.5 cents mark. Again, whether we touch that again today, again, depends on the sentiment. When we start to get a bit more worried, I think that 55 cent mark, kind of where we are there. I mean, that's what we're looking at. So I'm buying in pretty much on Ondo, anything under 70 cents. So once we break that 70 cents again today, I'll probably put a little bit more in. I mean, why not? It's a brilliant project, brilliant RWA. I know BlackRock talk about it, and it's partnered up with BlackRock and also partnered up with Ripple. So, I mean, Ripple being such a strong project, having amazing utility and being held back for so long, we don't even know where that's going to go. I mean, the market cap already on XRP is around, I think, 130 billion, is it? 103, gosh, no. Because of the price, you think, 103 billion. So XRP, if you can get some of that, fantastic. But yeah, no, with Ondo, I mean, at a market cap at a minute of around, about 2.2 billion. I mean, that's I think for me a steal at the minute. I mean, but I'm trying to dollar cost averaging under 70 cents. Another one, Sui. I mean, you look at Sui, new-ish. Well, it's reasonably new, isn't it? It's last kind of year or so. It's really spiked. Layer 1 blockchain. It's I feel for me like it shows very good strength. It wicks under kind of, so that 177 coming down to 17, is it 172? Yeah, so we came down to $1.72. But I'd be kind of where we're getting a bit more concerned whether if it comes down to that 164 and then the next kind of levels of support you're looking, because it wicks so hard during the November time, you're looking at whether, okay, if it comes down to 105, that's kind of, I think, worst case scenario, and then you can start, the bears might take over a little bit. But when we're looking at where we kind of have that resistance, I mean, so that kind of 163, sorry, you're looking at levels of support there as it was coming up, and wicking through the October and November time. And yeah, I mean, the project itself, I mean, it shows when it gets to those levels of support and resistance. I mean, you look here, from here it went to a level of 237, up to about 280, back down. Obviously we had that spike down because of the tariff news and all this, and that was FTX here. And then here, and then coming back up again, hit that level of resistance again around the 285 mark, and then just coming back down. But I feel trading Sui leverage absolutely destroys you. I tried it; it was hard work. I don't know why that's skew if there, because that's not what I wanted. There we go. But yeah, so with that, I mean, Sui just, I think is such a strong project, and I'm dollar cost and averaging in under 180. So 180. So if we can get back down to the 180 again, then I'll be absolutely putting more money in. And then Chainlink, absolutely love a bit of Chainlink. Chainlink as well, showing good levels of support here, but obviously broken through with all the tariff news. And then we kind of wick down to about 10.1. So I don't know why that's there. Should be there. There we go. So I'm a bit OCD with all this stuff. There we go. So yeah, 10.1. We'll come back up a little bit, but again, we're at 11.1 at the minute. Whether we wick back down to this 10.1, possibility. But then when I start getting a bit concerned, I mean, you look at this level of support and resistance around kind of between October to November time, when we're coming up through that kind of start of this mini parabolic phase in the bull run of late 2024. I mean, levels of support resistance, it just shows itself. It wicks down but comes back up. And you got that level of resistance at around 12, about 12.6, 8. But then when we get above it, I feel then we're looking at then getting to about levels of 17.5. And we'll push through a little bit, but again, market sentiment very much so. And then again, I love a bit of Tau. I mean, Tau right there. I mean, I think anything under $200 is a buy. Tau's a brilliant project. I probably started investing in it about 2 months ago, and I literally just add little bits here and there as you can. And then obviously we have Solana as well. So Solana at the minute, I mean, we're coming down to that $95 range we did on that drop, but then we're coming back up to about 104 at the minute. Whether we wick back down to the 95, I mean, anything under $100, if you can afford it, I'd say do it if you can. Again, not financial advice, but it's what I'm doing. And again, in the long run, when people are bearish, when they're scared around the market, because obviously it's your own capital, it's your own money, things aren't cheap anymore, so trying to put your money elsewhere and try and still pay for everyday life is hard. So that's why I always say, like I just said prior, try and put in what you can, but what you can afford. And And again, if you're putting in more than you can afford, but you've got bills to pay, I'm sorry, if the market comes down and you need bills to pay, then you might have to take out at a loss, and then actually you're devaluing your money even further. So I always just keep my crypto in the whatever I buy, I keep my crypto, I don't sell it. Obviously, bar than the Hedera in the Revolut, because I'm trying to get it all over to my Tangent wallet. But I'm keeping it. I'm not going to sell it until we have good highs, kind of above current market highs. When we get past that, I obviously then will reassess what to do. But I'll be kind of, as it goes up, selling little bits. And towards the end of the bull market, I have no idea when it is. No one does. But I'll probably keep around 30% of each project. Depending on how XRP does, I might keep a bit more of that. But like 40 to 50%, because I think the utility is so strong and what it's going to be used for, and how it's just grown in the last kind of 6 months of how many partnerships it's got. And the SEC case being dropped. Again, that being dropped, but nothing happening. Again, I think there is something coming, but again, whether that happens or when it happens, that's the question. So thanks for listening, guys. Drop a like, would much appreciate it. And just message out to everyone, keep safe, keep calm, and also keep fit, and don't constantly look at charts. It absolutely just drains you. I've been there. It's horrible. Go and exercise. Go and do whatever you like to enjoy. Go for a walk. Keep fit. Eat well. Stay hydrated. And peace out. Thank you very much. Have a good one.